Hello there, and welcome back to Menopause Made Easy with Tanya. This podcast that gives you the real talk, the real tools, and the real transformation as we navigate midlife with grace, strength, and yes, a little sass. Okay, so today I want to talk about something that's a little personal. I'm going to share a story because something happened to me when I turned 50, which was 5 years ago in 2000 and 20. Okay, I turned 50. And chances are it may be happening to you. So let's talk about eyesight. And maybe you're thinking, Tanya, I see glasses on you. Why are you wearing glasses? I will talk about that. Okay, because I'm talking today about improving your eyesight naturally. Okay. And even after menopause, okay, even if you've been wearing glasses a long time, I'm not going to get into a lot of technical terms today. I am going to give you a practical exercise at the end and also tell you about a class that I'm having in person coming up. And if you're interested, we can expand on that later. Okay, so we are completely uninformed about or misinformed about what's possible when it comes to our eyes. And this goes way back. Okay, way, way, way back. So this isn't some new science. This isn't new things. This is from William Bates and it goes back. So I'm going to share some really interesting things with you today. So let's start with what happened to me. So I wore glasses when I was, I think, grade six-ish for a little bit, and then I stopped wearing glasses. This is important what I'm going to tell you. Okay, and then I wore glasses again in grade, probably beginning of university and maybe the end of high school. And I was reading a lot of strain on my eyes, but then I didn't wear glasses again until I turned 50. And that's what I want to talk about today. But keep in mind that I wore glasses twice before and then stopped. Okay, so at 50, I started to notice that I couldn't read the labels on the bottles or see my phone as clearly as I used to. And I figured it was normal because we always hear with aging, you're going to lose your eyesight, even though there's some people who are older than I am that don't wear glasses. So keep that in the back of your mind. It's not about aging. Okay. I went and booked an optometrist appointment with the eye gal. I'm just going to call her an eye gal. And guess what she said to me? She said, "You're just getting older and you are just, going to have to wear glasses." No explanation, no curiosity, no education about what was actually going on with my eyes, just a prescription for reading glasses, and out the door I went. Now, I didn't really know what questions to ask. I didn't know how to, frame my question. But anyway, so I just put the glasses on and I could see better than I could before. All right, so I wore the glasses for reading. And then over time, I started to notice that the food on my plate began to look blurry, like without glasses. Okay, so I was like, oh dear. My car dashboard was also starting to get a little blurry. So some of you may be feeling this. And then I started to read my phone and I could feel eye strain. And I was going through perimenopause at this phase, at this time in my life, and was getting like migraines, headaches, really yuck, not a good feeling. So I thought maybe eye strain was causing that. I was trying to still connect the dots. But I didn't have headaches the whole month, just at certain times. So then I started to realize that it was I would get these headaches around my period. Anyway, so you kind of have to, like I always say, write down your symptoms, notice if there's patterns, because if I had eye strain, it would happen every day, or headaches. I mean, it would happen every day, not just around my period. I think I lost my train of thought there, but I hope that makes sense. Anyway, what I discovered was that eye strain was the whole month. Headaches were only a small part, so it was not directly related. All right. So after a couple of years, this was going on and on and on. I booked another appointment, this time with the eye guy. So this was probably 2023, might have been 24. Okay. And I probably went the first time in 2021. And I had not had my eyes checked for years before that because they weren't really a problem. Okay, so I said to the guy, to the eye guy, okay, I asked him, could I do anything to improve my vision? No, you can't, he said. You'll just need to get stronger prescriptions every time you come in here as you age. And I walked out with my new prescription. I put on my glasses and everything was blurry. Like it felt hard on my eyes. And I had mentioned that in my appointment, and he said, don't worry, your eyes will get used to it. Okay, so everything looked a little blurry, uncomfortable. And like I said, I told him, I think these are too strong. It'll be all right soon. Okay, this is something else I've learned. Okay, it wasn't. It was really hurting me. But what I also have learned is that your eyes get used to things, and so they get used to having these stronger prescriptions, which works well for optometrists, but not for me. Okay, so what I did is I actually went back to my old glasses from 2021. So they're somewhere in here. But even now, these ones are just cheapy ones because even those glasses are too much for my eyes when I'm looking at a computer. All right. So I've also learned some things. I also have, these are really freaky for those of you who are on YouTube. You can see my pinhole glasses, which I can actually read with these glasses. Okay, so I will get talking about these later in this episode, maybe another episode, but nobody told me about these. All right. Okay, so I got curious because I'm like, what's going on? I don't want to have to keep going back and getting stronger and stronger prescriptions. Your eye is a muscle. We can work our muscles. What is happening? So this was my turning point, this moment right here. And I stopped blindly accepting, pun intended, that getting older means you'll just lose your eyesight. So I started searching and reading and listening and learning. And I took courses, okay? And I'll tell you what, you can improve your vision. I have absolutely improved my vision. Is it 100%? No, but I understand. I have actually improved it to go back to my old glasses or using pinhole glasses or just using cheapies that are just a little magnifying. And a lot of the times I can actually not have my glasses on. All right. And I'm really disappointed and hurt that nobody could be honest with me and spend some time to educate me about how I could. And I always like to use this analogy when I'm personal training clients or helping them with nutrition, or, I'm a very holistic person, which you're going to hear in some of my episodes coming up. That I may not make you 100% the way you were, but my goal for many people is that you don't get worse. Okay, you get worse, you may get a little bit better, but we don't want you we don't want you going off the rails and having to get stronger and stronger prescriptions, or fatter and fatter and fatter, or muscle loss, muscle loss, muscle loss. Okay, if we can just stay where you are for years and years and years, that is a good thing as well. All right, so if I can stay with my weaker prescription, then that's a win in my eyes, but I will tell you my eyes are getting better. All right, so I was a little ticked that they didn't take the time to educate me about certain exercises that I could do and why I was feeling eye strain and why my eyes were getting in need of a more prescription, higher prescription, whatever. Okay, so through my research and taking these courses, many, many, many people have ditched their glasses for reading and far away. And I'm not going to dive into all of that today because it would be a lot. And I want to give you a practical solution at the end that you can start to do. All right. So you can improve your eyesight, and there are simple natural techniques that you can practice to actually support your eyes, reduce strain, and regain clarity. And I discovered that your eyes are actually more tired at certain times of the day. Just like, when you go try on shoes, there's a difference between if you try them on in the morning or try them on at the night. Now, I was going to get my eyes checked at the end of the day. Nobody ever told me that when I go to get my eyes checked the certain time, it would affect how my eyes were feeling. And I don't know. I think that is, kind of relevant, right? And so that's just something for you to note. When do you go and get your eyes tested? Is it the end of the day, beginning? Because that could have an influence on your results. Okay. I also noticed or learned that strain, posture, lighting, and even stress can all affect how well we see. And again, I'm not going to dive into this today, but there is a massive emotional component to what your eyes want to see or what you don't want to see. I'm going to leave it at that. And perhaps in another episode, I will carry on from that. Okay, so what I realized was the eye guy, actually, I went to the gal first. The eye gal and the eye guy were pretty invested in selling me contacts, glasses, progressives, which I even have a pair. And after taking this course, I will not even put them on. And that there's a whole system, like many systems in our health sick care system, that are built around treating symptoms rather than empowering us with tools to support our vision. All right, so that's what I want to share with you today. So I'm going to tell you some of what I've learned and what improved. So what improved was that my plate of food is not blurry anymore. Yay! Okay, my dashboard in my car is not blurry anymore. Yay! Okay, and reading, I can do it without glasses at certain times of the day and certain light. And oh my gosh, everybody, I cannot tell you the rabbit dive I have done with light. And I'm also just about to begin. I'm taping this in June. You're going to hear this in July. I'm just about to take a quantum biology trauma course, which I'm so excited about. So anyway, you'll probably hear more about that later. And we're definitely talking about this stuff in my midlife reboot program. If anybody would like to join us, I tell you, we talk about a lot of great things in there. And you learn a lot. And it's not that you're learning, you're actually applying and doing the work. Okay, so I was able to see my plate of food, see my dashboard, read without my glasses all the time. I didn't have surgery. I haven't bought expensive eye gadgets. Okay, I've just been practicing some very simple, consistent, natural vision exercises. All right, so I have created a little course. Actually, it's a class, let's call it that, called Improve Your Eyesight Naturally, because I want to teach you what no one is telling you. And of course, you can go find all this information and do it on your own if you'd like. But if not, you're going to hear this episode on July 10th. And my next Improve Your Eyesight class is going to be July the 19th. That's a Saturday, starting at 9:15. And for the next 75 minutes, we are going to learn and do practical skills. I'm going to share one of them with you at the end of this. Practical skills to begin to see better without glasses. All right. So if you're interested in that, please email me, Tanya, at moveyourbody.ca, and you can register for the class. And that is Saturday, July 19th at 9:15 a.m. for an hour and 15 minutes. And we're going to dive into some very practical, extremely simple things that you can do to improve your eyesight naturally. Okay. And I know that this costs less than one visit to your optometrist. Okay. So imagine, I don't even know when I'm going to go again because I have been really good at doing my exercises and I feel great. My eyes feel great. So, what will you learn in this class, and what am I going to share with you at the end here? Just a little snippy, is how to relax your eye muscles because our eyes are under so much strain. Okay, so we want to learn how to reduce the tension and improve clarity. I'm going to teach you how to increase your tolerance to light so you're less sensitive to bright environments. Because I don't know if you have noticed, and maybe it's not everybody, but a lot of women I talk to, it's like, oh my God, it's so bright, it's so bright. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to improve your close up and your far away vision naturally. And we're also going to work on our posture, which is directly connected to how well you see. Okay, because here's the truth, the eyes are part of your whole body. There is nothing in isolation in your body. We are just cells, little tiny cells. Okay, and if one part of me is feeling something, it's typically connected to somewhere else. I'm going to just leave it at that. Okay, so just like you can build stronger muscles by lifting weights or healing your gut with a gut protocol, you can train and support your eyes to function better at any age, at any stage. Okay, and why does this matter in midlife? Well, you know that menopause brings a lot of changes. Your hormones are changing, your sleep might be messed up, your metabolism could be a little wonky, and your vision can also start to decline. Okay? But we don't have to just accept decline as our new normal. We can choose to be curious, to question, and to try something different. And that's why I'm going to be doing these eye classes. I love teaching things that other people aren't. I'm so happy and thrilled when I have class members show up to work our hands and our feet because I have worked with seniors since I was about 23 years old, and your hands and feet are so important, and so are your eyes. Okay. So this is why I love like doing these specialty classes. So if you have ever felt frustrated with your glasses, overwhelmed by prescriptions, want to actually see more clearly without strain, okay, maybe just not keep going up in prescriptions or just learn some really cool things about your eyes and how to take care of them, then this class is for you. You'll leave with knowledge, tools, practices that you can use for the rest of your life. No pressure, okay? To join, no sales pitch. This is for you. I just want to empower you to feel amazing and to see clearly. All right, so if you're interested and it's gone past July 19th, just give me a shout out anyway, and because I will be running them at various times throughout the year. Okay, so I said I was going to show you a exercise to do. All right, so what I'm going to do here is do that right now. Okay, so Dr. William Bates was an ophthalmologist many years ago who developed a natural approach to improving vision based on the idea that poor eyesight is caused by habitual eye strain. And his method is known as the Bates method. Okay, and it's centered around 5 key principles. All right, and so I'm just going to talk about one, maybe two of them. And this will actually, yeah, I'll pick two. Okay, so the one that's really important is that, according to William Bates, is he believed that stress and tension in the eyes contribute to poor vision. And if you look at how, so I think back to grade 8 and I think back to my high school years and into university about how much I was reading Okay, reading, 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 and my eyes were getting tired. And now look, everybody, look how much we are looking at screens and little screens and light, which I'll get into on another episode. Oh, it's going to blow your mind. But anyway, so our eyes are exhausted. They're absolutely exhausted. So here is an exercise that if you start to do throughout your day, okay, will help you with your eyes. So we're going to take off our glasses. We're going to rub our hands together. Okay, so don't do this if you're driving. And then all we're going to do is put our hands over our eyes, close our eyes. So I'm sitting up straight. The best way to do this, I find, there's a couple of different things or a couple of different ways, is you can put your elbows down. So I might have disappeared out of the screen, I'm not sure, but you can put your elbows down so it's not so tiring. Okay, I also like to lay in my bed and put a pillow underneath my elbows or lay outside wherever, put a pillow underneath my elbows to prop them up and do this. So I still have my palms over my eyes and I'm just going to relax my eyes. Then I'm going to take some nice deep breaths in and out. Now, one thing I've been teaching for a very long time, keep going, is to feel your eyeballs becoming pools of liquid. So anybody that's in my classes, there's various classes we will do. We do great eye classes, by the way. If you want to join my Vibrant Living, we work our eyeballs, we release stress from our eyes, and everybody sees better. Okay, I want you to think of your eyes becoming pools of liquid. Taking some nice deep breaths down into the belly, expanding through the chest. And one more nice deep breath in and out. Good. And then slowly you can begin to open your eyes. And if you can start palming, which is relaxation, depending on, if you're looking at a screen a lot, reading a lot, if you can start to incorporate this into your day, that will really help you to see more clearly and relax your eyes. Okay. So we're not applying pressure. So when we close our eyes, they're closed softly. Our palms are cupped over our eyes, and we can breathe deeply for 5 minutes. Sometimes I do it for 1 minute. Okay. 1 minute is better than no minutes. Remember, simple shifts, small hinges swing big doors. Okay. So you can do this for 5 minutes, up to 30 minutes. You could go longer. It is important to support those elbows because I find that it starts to get heavy and then it's not relaxing. Okay. And you could put on some very peaceful music. You could listen to a meditation. You could just repeat, I have perfect vision. I see things clearly. And this is something else, this little bonus point here. But you can um, when you notice your language and you start to say, I can't see, your cells are listening. Okay. So you can either say something like, I can't see yet, but even better than that would be fake it. I can see clearly. I can see clearly. I can see perfectly, but just notice your language because your cells are listening, everybody. Okay. So the last one I'm going to give you is blinking. Okay, so blinking, it's really important. It's really interesting. When you come to my classes, I'll actually give you like a test, but we're not going to do that here. And it's not a scary test. But When you don't blink, which is what a lot of us do when we're looking at something, we forget to blink. Okay. But frequent blinking and proper breathing will help to keep the eyes lubricated and relaxed, which prevents unnecessary strain. So it's really important to be aware of how many times you're blinking. And I'm going to blink really fast right now. Okay. But it's also interesting, since I learned this, about how many times sometimes when I'm concentrating, I don't feel like I'm blinking. Okay. As much as when I'm consciously aware of it. So make a habit of blinking softly every few seconds while reading, okay, or using your screens. And then continue this with slow, deep breaths to keep your body relaxed. All right. So there you go. Those are two practical things. And during my class, I'm going to teach you a lot more. And if you're like, Tanya, I want to do your class, but I live too far away, then I would be happy to set up something online with you. I do a lot of private sessions. So sometimes I just do private sessions with people to work their feet, work their hands, meditate. I pretty much do everything. Okay. So if you are not doing the work, it really helps to have an appointment. I will tell you that much. All right. So you can think of this, instead of going to your ophthalmologist and spending money on glasses, you can think of this as supporting your vision so that you don't have to spend money on those things. Okay. And that you can begin to see things more clearly. All right. So if you are ready to see differently, not just with your eyes, but also with your mindset, okay, then join me for my Improve Your Eyesight Naturally class. What day is it? July 19th, Saturday, July 19th at 9:15 a.m. And you can email Tanya, Tanya, at moveyourbody.ca. And I provide a very intimate, interactive, personal, practical session so that you'll walk away feeling lighter, clearer, more confident about your eyes and what your eyes are capable of doing. Okay, so this is just a reminder that getting older doesn't mean giving up. It means getting wiser and seeing more clearly than ever before. So grab a gal pal or a few of them. I'd love to see you in class, or if it's something you live too far away and we want to do something over Zoom, I'm happy to do that. That's how I spend most of my life. Please share this episode with somebody who is curious about their eyes, who would like a little eye practice. And I have some other episodes coming up about eyes. I don't know when they're going to drop, but until next time, if you could, leave me a review or like my podcast or just share it with somebody, I would greatly appreciate it. I often get asked, Tanya, do you make money doing your podcast? The answer is no. I make $0 doing my podcast. Okay, so I rely on just putting it on social media, but the way the algorithms work these days, it's very far and few between of who sees it. So, from my heart to yours, if you find my podcast beneficial, please share it with your friends. I really would be so grateful for that, because I share a lot of amazing wisdom, and I only want the best for all of us. Okay, so until next time, stay curious, stay radiant, and as always, okay, take care of you, because nobody else is going to. You are the CEO of your health. I'll see you in the next video.